You think you're grown, but what if you're just a child wearing an adult mask? Look closely at your life, the broken relationships, the missed opportunities, the same mistakes on repeat. There's a pattern there, and it's not the world's fault. It's the child inside you, making decisions an adult should be making. This isn't just another motivational speech. This is a warning. Because that inner child isn't cute or innocent, it's the most dangerous threat to your success, your relationships, and your future. Maybe you've aged, but have you matured? It doesn't matter how many responsibilities you carry or how impressive your title sounds. If you can't control your emotions, if you react without thinking, if every decision comes from impulse rather than strategy, you're still a man-child. The signs are everywhere, but you've learned to ignore them. You need immediate gratification. You can't handle criticism without feeling attacked. Your emotions dictate your decisions. You sabotage yourself when success is within reach. You blame others for your failures. And the worst part? You've convinced yourself this is just who you are. You call it authenticity or being true to yourself. But let's call it what it really is: emotional immaturity. Centuries ago, Machiavelli understood something most still don't get today. Power isn't about showing strength at every turn. It's about cold, strategic control. The prince who can't control his impulses isn't a ruler. He's just wearing a crown while being ruled by his emotions. He who rules with emotions is doomed to be ruled by them. Think about it. The truly powerful don't slam tables when angered. They don't need to prove they're right. They don't expose their weaknesses through emotional outbursts. They wait. They observe. They strike when the moment is right. This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. The world doesn't reward the most authentic or the most expressive. It rewards the most strategic. Here's the DMN truth nobody wants to hear. We live in a society that celebrates man-child behavior. We give microphones and platforms to those who react without thinking. We call their tantrums passion. We mistake their lack of filter for courage. Look at who we admire. People who speak without considering consequences, leaders who make decisions based on ego rather than strategy, influencers who trade long-term respect for short-term attention. And you're following them, maybe even trying to be like them. You applaud their authenticity while ignoring the trail of chaos they leave behind. Because it's easier to celebrate immaturity than face the hard work of growing up. If there's one thing that defines the man-child beyond his impulses, it's his desperate hunger for approval. That emptiness that demands constant applause, that measures worth in likes, in praise, in attention. This need for validation makes you dangerously manipulable. You don't need iron chains when applause is enough to bind you. You'll compromise your values, betray your goals, and exhaust yourself trying to maintain an image, all for the temporary high of external approval. The man-child confuses being visible with being valuable. He needs to constantly show what he does, what he thinks, what he feels, as if silence meant disappearing. And when this need mixes with any form of power, catastrophe. Because then every decision stops being strategic and becomes a spectacle. Power stops being a tool and becomes a drug. The man-child surrounds himself with flatterers, never with critics. Why? Because he can't stand conflict. Every confrontation feels like a personal attack. He doesn't seek growth, he seeks comfort. And that's how the perfect destruction circle forms. An immature leader surrounded by yes-men who tell him only what he wants to hear, never what he needs to hear. sound familiar? Because we're not just talking about public figures, we're talking about you, about how many times you've chosen approval over truth, how many times you've avoided the person who tells you what you don't want to hear. Emotional maturity isn't about becoming cold or robotic. Your emotions are still there, but they no longer rule you. They no longer scream over your judgment. You listen to them, yes, but you don't give them the wheel. True maturity means learning to be uncomfortable without running, saying no without guilt, acting without witnesses, building even when no one applauds, thinking before speaking, observing before acting. It's differentiating between what you want now and what truly benefits you long-term. It's postponing gratification without frustration. It's saying no even when it hurts. And most importantly, it's radical responsibility. No blaming, no excuses, no, I'm just like that. It's recognizing that every action of yours has an impact, that your emotional outbursts affect others, that your immaturity can ruin relationships and destroy opportunities. You become an adult the day you accept that no one will rescue you, that it's you against your impulses, you against your comfortable narratives, you against your weakest self. No one is going to mature you. No one will teach you to be emotionally strong. You do that in solitude, in moments of tension, in invisible decisions. Every time you choose to respond instead of react, you grow. Every time you decide not to enter into drama, you strengthen yourself. Every time you prioritize the long term over immediate satisfaction, you become more powerful. That power, the one that isn't seen, the one that doesn't need approval, the one that doesn't shout, is the only one that can truly govern a life. The rest is theater, inflated ego, poorly managed childhood. If you don't kill the child will kill you. Not with a knife, but with impulsive decisions, unnecessary words, repeated mistakes, and broken relationships. Slowly, without you noticing, until one day you wake up and realize your whole life has been a reaction. Right now, you stand at a crossroads. Continue being ruled by your emotions, or start the painful process of real growth. Keep seeking validation, or build something that doesn't need it. You decide. Because time won't wait, opportunities won't return, and the world doesn't care about your excuses, only your results. Take this moment. Make a commitment to yourself. Write down, "Today begins my true adulthood." Not for me, not for likes or comments, for you. Because if you've made it this far, something inside you has clicked. That discomfort in your chest? That's the closest thing to awakening, not the magical kind that changes you overnight. This is slower, painful, uncomfortable, but real. Turn off this video, but don't come back the same. You can't come back the same. Go out into the world knowing the child no longer commands. Go build, but in silence. Let no one know what you're planning until it's too late to stop you. We'll see each other at the top, or we'll see each other from there while you fall for not changing in time. You decide.